Hey, what's up guys? It's Roobie here. Today I'll be making a C4D tutorial. I'll be using my own Lightroom for this tutorial, and the C4D will be downloadable in the description. The AE will be released at 150 likes. So what we'll do first is go to MoGraph and get a MoText. We'll look for fonts, so I'm gonna go with Vampire's Raves because it's just the basic and easy to work font. Then I'm just gonna put tutorial in here because, well, explains itself. And then we're going to make the depth of the text 45. So that means the text is 45 centimeters deep. Just go to cap settings, and put the start to fillet cap, and then end to fillet cap. And we'll just do something like 5 free. Like that. So now the edges are a lot smoother. Just makes it look nicer in general. And then what we're gonna do is press either Desc button or the C on your keyboard, and then you'll be making your text editable. So I'm gonna drag out my text folder and just keep these 4 objects. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the tut thingy here, go up to Mesh, Axis Center, and click these 2 buttons, and then click on Execute. And that means my center, like, it gives you the center of the text. So if I put everything on 0 over here, then the text will be completely in the middle of the scene. So I'll just go to each and every letter and just do that same thing. Okay, so now we're leaving this for a while. We're just gonna make sure we have our music imported. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a null object. We're gonna do 2 steps for music. You're gonna make a null object, and go in here, show tracks. We're gonna go all the way to frame 0, keyframe once, right click to open a null, add special tracks sound. And you can delete these 3. And if you click on the sound, you'll see in the bottom right hand corner, you'll just see this bar that says sound. So we'll go over here and then import our song. Let me see where I have it located. Let's see. There you go. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change my layout from my personal one to animation. And what that will do is you'll see my waveform will be down here. So that way, yeah, it's just easier to see where the beats are and stuff. So let me see. I need 340 frames. So I'll just put this to 340. Now you'll see I can just see my entire waveform. So now I can just kind of scroll for the music and see where my beats are. Okay, so we can just leave this for now, go to standard. And then on the text, what we want to do is take the text, make a copy of this. So you can either do Control C, Control V, and then put it back in here. Or you can just select these and Control, if you hold Control and then drag, you'll copy them. Then we'll make a text, make a second layer around the text. So we'll go -5. No, wait, other direction, 5. And then make the caps to 5. And then make the object itself 10 centimeters shorter because you put it back 5. So put this to 35. And then you'll see we have like a kind of second layer over our text. What we'll do now is we'll take our letters, and then what you could do is you could either take 3 nulls, that's by going into the cube here and getting a null, or you could just select your two T's or whatever letter you're using, and then press Alt and G, and that will make them group together into a folder. So now I'll just rename these folders to the letters, and then move the letters so they're kind of spaced out. So there's a little bit of space between. To do that, you can click this window up here or middle mouse click. That's what I'm doing. Let's see, just a little bit more. There you go. Oh, so now we got our text done. We need some. This is my sound. So now we need some materials because, of course, we want it to have like a nice look. So I'll just go in here to my Lightroom and import my render settings and my materials. So I think I'm just gonna use this blue and this grunge. I'm gonna open these up, then put it on the front of the text, and I put my colored matte on the second layer. And I'm gonna select all my materials, make them seamless and cubic. And now if we look at it from this angle and we press Control R or this button up here, you'll see we see a pre-render of our composition. So what we'll do now is we'll create a camera. So we're gonna go in here and take a circle, and then we're gonna go in here and take a camera. We put the camera into the circle, and we click on this button to go into the camera's view. And we're going to go to coordinates, and then just change everything to 0 except for the Z. So now we can move our camera around. Okay, so this is where the sound thing that we added in one of the first parts comes in handy. So we'll go over to animation, and then we can just see where our beats are. So my first beat's over at 59 frames, so I'll go to before 59 and then create my drop. So my drop's going to be over here. Spin my camera a bit. And then go all the way to the start. Just a bit more. And then this behind the text. And then at the drop, you want it to be in front of the text. So I'm going to turn this up. Turn this up. You see, put this around 0, and then put this over here. And then let's see. Oh, wait. Make sure to turn all frames off. So you see that drops really smooth. And then we're gonna go to the next beat. So here's my next beat. So we're gonna make sure we're not gonna touch anything except for the B. So we're just gonna rotate it a bit. So now if we look, like it kind of moves on its own. So now we're gonna go to the next beat. We're gonna make sure there's 4 frames in between. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go spin the camera so it's like upside down or anything of that sorts, and then just move it to a position or an angle that you think looks nice. And we're gonna keyframe. So now what will happen is if I just go back here, so you see on the beat it spins, and then we're gonna go to the next. So here's my next beat. So I'm gonna go 2 frames in before. Spin just the blue circle, so the B. Keyframe, go 4 frames forward, and then rotate my camera a bit more. Move it to a different angle. So now, it will not look smooth because we'll work on that in a minute. So now we're gonna go spin my camera a bit more, just the B axis again, and then we're gonna go to the next beat. We're gonna move it into a new position. I'm just gonna tweak it. Okay. So I didn't change anything there because I just want it to bounce, and on the next beat I'm gonna make it move to the other side, and then change the angle. So now, but as you can see, it's not smooth. So what we'll do is we'll right click on our circle, no, on our, we'll click on our circle, go to coordinates, go to one of the axes, animation, show F curve, and then what you'll see is you see this red weird thing popping up. So what we want to do is make sure we don't have these like S rings, but we want them to be in one fluid line. So I'm going to drag this down, drag this up a bit, and now you'll see it kind of moves. And then here it's fine because it just bounces. It bounces here, bounces here. I'm gonna go to the next one. This is our height. So here you see it bounces, and then here you have one of those S's again. So you want to tweak that. And then here you have just this little curve. So we're gonna tweak that so it's a bit smoother. And then this is our rotations. So this is the B, which we change a lot. So here there's gonna be a lot of occasions where you have those S's, kinda. So here, for instance, it goes really stale, so you just want it to be one fluid motion. So now it rotates like this. Okay, so now if we preview, make this two quicker. Let me see, sound, show tracks. Oh, there's 3 beats. I'm stupid. So now we're gonna move it down here. So let's see. So what we can do else is just rotate this further. So just delete this keyframe real quick. I didn't see the third beat, so that's probably why. 377, so we can make this about 440 or 70. Hmm. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix some stuff. Because I want it to be... I want it to rotate then. Looks... It's not smooth. Let's see, so... Okay, so now if we go into the F-curves of the camera. Yep. Okay, so we just need to tweak this one. Yeah, okay. That's what I noticed. Make this go up. It's kind of smooth. And now if we play it. Yeah, okay, so now you'll see on every beat, we'll just rotate, and then if we go into the tracks again, oh, that's the curves. No, it was the tracks. So we're about here. Next beat's over here. So we're gonna go into the circle again. Just rotate the axis. Oh, our next beat's here. So we're just gonna drag this keyframe over here. And then do one more. I think it's like, yeah, it's 2 more beats. So just go up, rotate it so it's upside down. Oh no, so this is the last beat, so what we'll do is we'll just do a full 360 rotation. Put this on 0. Like this, go back a bit. And then what we'll do is we'll make this kind of slide out and rotate further. So, and now if we go into the F curves, okay, so this is going to be a tricky one. Let me see. Oh yeah, I'm moving around by pressing Alt and then my middle mouse button. I think you can go in here and then do view frame all. Yeah, that might be easier. Oh, and we'll just make this so it fades out smooth, so this becomes straight. So now if we look, might want this to be lit. Oh, a little bit less. Okay. So that's our camera movements. So now we can just delete the sound layer we made because we don't need the waveform anymore. And then we go MoGraph, Vector, Sound. And then what we'll do is we'll open up our song in here. So there we go. So now we can go back to our standard layout, which is easier. And then but we don't really have any movements in our camera itself. So we have our moving camera object, but we don't have any depth into it. So now we're going to add that depth perspective. We're going to get it real close at the start. We're going to make it zoom out. I'm dragging out by this arrow. You can also do it by just dragging this out. And then We're gonna go to the next frame, zoom it in, and now if we look, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna touch my camera in any way. I'm just gonna leave it, and then to the next frame, I'll just do anything. So I'll probably move it in here. Nope, goes back. Keyframe. And I'm gonna go into the next frame, not touch anything, and then the next beat I'll make it go out. So basically, what this will be doing is it will be bouncing. If you have clamp turned off, clamp is something that I'll show you in a minute. If you press Control D, you have this option in, let me see, dynamic, no, let me see, key interpolation, and it's called clamp. You should need to make sure that's turned off. And because of this, there's only a few points where I have to actually touch the F curves with the camera itself in comparison to my circle. So now, only here, I'm gonna move it out a bit. So now if we preview, but the text is a bit stale, like it's not doing anything. So we'll have to make sure a text spins too, or something in that sort. But first I'm just gonna look at my F curves real quick, because I noticed one thing, and that was this. Like it bounced back, so I don't really like that. There we go. Anything else? And let me preview. Yep. Make sure you save. So now, what we'll be doing is text rotation. So as you've done in the start of the tutorial, you've centered your text. I'm just gonna redo it. So mesh, axis center, make sure these two are ticked, and then execute. And then make everything 0 for the X, Y, and Z. Now we're gonna make a fracture. You do that by going into MoGraph fracture. Take these 3 letters and dragging them into here. No, wait. Yeah. We're gonna go to mesh, axis center again. Take our 3 letters and all center them all. And then the only thing you can change on the letters is the Y and the Z if they're not 0. You don't need to touch the X, because this is what will happen. So now we got our fracture done. I'm just gonna rename it to text. We can start doing text rotations. So what we'll do is we'll go to the camera and then go to the text. So I'm gonna move it back a little bit, probably like here. And then go over to my drop. And we're just gonna go over to every keyframe. So like that. And I think I missed a keyframe here. Just noticed it. So let's see. Okay, so now before the drop, I'm gonna put it on 100. No, yeah, 103. And then at the drop, when you're in front of the text, I'm gonna put it at 23. So now you'll see the text rotates. But you can do it the other way around too, so making this go to 23. So just taking out the minuses basically. I will make it rotate the other way. I'm just gonna have a look what I like more. No, I prefer the other way. Okay, so let's see. And then we're gonna go to the next keyframe. Make sure it kinda rotates further. So and just at every keyframe, make the rotation a bit more. So here it's gonna rotate, and then I'm gonna make it rotate just a little bit. And then at the next keyframe, it's gonna go further, and then just a little bit. And then further. Oh wait, here I want the text to be visible. And then to the next keyframe, just rotate a bit more. And so you're just gonna make it rotate on every keyframe. And then we can tweak it with the F curves later on. So now oh wait, this can be a bit higher up. Just gonna make it fade in, like rotates a lot. And then here it's kind of gonna be weird. Probably do something with the letters itself. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty good in my opinion. So we're just gonna tweak the F curves. So animation F curves. And then I'm just gonna make it full screen. And then we want to get rid of those like big straight lines. So just make sure we don't have any like S's like that or straight lines in general. So not anything this business. That's ugly. Even though it's a small detail. It just adds something to the intro itself. And then final rotation. Yeah, let's see. Looks pretty good in my opinion. So now it's still a bit boring. Like you don't have anything going on at the intro itself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a cube explosion at the drop. So that's one thing we're gonna add. So I'm just gonna make a cube, make it 30 by 30 by 30 centimeters, and make the fillet radius free. We're gonna go to get a cloner, put the cube into the cloner, and then make it a grid array. So we have 3 layers, so I'm gonna make this free. Make this 4 and make this 4, and then put the size as all to 0. Now we're gonna get a MoGraph effector random, and then we're gonna go over to the drop. There we go, and then put this to 0. And then we're gonna go over to a bit further. Well, first change the parameters. So we're gonna put the rotation on, put everything to 50, and then we're gonna just hold this arrow and then hold your mouse button and just drag it up. So we're gonna keyframe it here because it's reasonable Like the explosion is pretty big already. And then we're gonna go into explosion eventually, like to kind of stop and just drag it up. So what I'm gonna do is at this beat, I'm just gonna make it go 4 frames forward. And then here, I'm gonna make the cloner kind of disappear, so the cubes disappear. So I turned my scale up from 1 all the way to 0. And that's also what I'm gonna do at the drop. So over here at the drop, I'm gonna keyframe where it's at 1. And 3 frames before that, I'm gonna put everything to 0. So now I have a preview. So yeah, you can just see the cube explosion like that. And then here we need something else. So I was thinking of like an exploding ring or a spline. So we'll just add like, we'll make 2 circles and then a spline, a sweep. Put them both into the sweep. Make the radius 10 and then make this radius 0. And then over here at this beat, we're gonna keyframe the radius and then keyframe it, make it 3000. Oh, like that. Keyframe it. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of spin the circle an angle where you think it looks good when you preview the intro. So you'll kind of have something like that. Maybe a bit later and faster. Yeah, so and then at the last few frames of this, we'll keyframe the radius on the second one and then make it go all the way down to 0 so it disappears. And then what you'll see is you'll have this exploding ring. And then we're gonna duplicate this. And then basically spin this 90 degrees or 100 or something like that. And now, like that looks pretty dope in my opinion. And then here I want this kind of spline to fly over, or so we're gonna make a helix. Make it on the the ZY axis, and then just take the height up to like 2000, something like that, and then make the end angle 360. We're just gonna shift over the sweep like that, minus like this, and then we're gonna go over to sweep. Put the helix in the sweep and then get a circle. Make that circle like 10. Oh, 10. And then we're gonna go over, let's see. Oh, I need to make it a bit longer. Like that. And I'm gonna rotate it a bit, so it's kind of over the text. Make it a bit smaller. Okay, there we go. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into here, symmetry. Put this into the symmetry. And then let me see which one it is. Oh no, it's not the one I want to have. Oh well, I just want to first animate the spline, and then we're gonna make a duplicate and put it on the other side of the text. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the spline, make this both 0, go a bit further, make it 100, and then go all the way to the end, and then make it 100, and then keyframe them both. So you have that spline flying around. and then copy this, and then spin it 180 degrees. And then now if we group these together with Alt G, and we keyframe them here, and then go over here and make it like 240. And then you press Control A when you click this, and then make it linear. So the splines kind of spin. But we still need to do something. We need to animate the letters so they actually have like something to do. But first we're gonna put materials on this. So I'm gonna put a blue on the cubes and then duplicate the cube. Put grunge on it. So we'll make them cubic and seamless. I'm gonna select my material and just hold control and drag it. And then give these two a color, and then give these two a color. Like that. So now everything has a color. So the cubes, spines, and these sweeps. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is animate the letters. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna group all these together because it's like special stuff. Explosion. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna animate these layers. So we're gonna click on the fracture, MoGraph effector, and then step. Drag this up a bit, and then turn off scale and put on rotation. Turn this up to 360. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into effector, put this down to 0. Put it up to about 60, and then keyframe it. Again, make sure you have clamp off, because otherwise it won't. And then here I want the text to be kind of sitting like in a random position, so I'm gonna take a random, turn off the position, put on rotation 10, minus 10, 10. And then look for a nice. There you go. Turn it up a bit. Oh, that looks good. And then over here, I'm gonna keyframe it. And then over here, I'm gonna put it on 0. So it's gonna go up. And keyframe the random again. And then put it down to 0. And then one more thing I want to add is a plane. So a formula. And then I'm gonna put the frequency down to 0.2. And then that looks really weird, so we're just gonna turn this off. And then put the position up to 5. The rotation, like -5, -2, 4. And then you'll see like the letters will wobble a bit. That's still a bit too fast. Yeah, that looks better. So they're kind of wavy. Okay, now at the end I want to add a plane. So plane, put this to box. Turn off the position. Let me see. Oh. So if I move this over, kind of does a weird movement or something. No. And make the box a bit bigger. Go to position. It's a bit too high. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into text, MoGraph effector delay. Put this to 40, and then on spring. So now everything's kind of bouncy. Oh, forgot something. Fix it real quick. Okay, now. No, I'm gonna put this on blend, and then on 65. Makes it look a bit more smooth. Okay. So this is our C4D. I want to thank you guys for watching. Sorry if it was hard to understand. This is my first like proper long tutorial I'm recording. The download will be in the description. The A tutorial will be out at 150 likes, and if you have any questions about stuff, just ask me in the comments, and I'll be sure to reply. I reply to all of my comments, or most of them at least. If you have any questions, just comment down below. I'll answer, and I'll try to help you as much as possible. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.